Okay.
Hello. How are you? How are you? Really? Okay. You say so. What do we got? All right. Dance groove. All right. We've just entered the bizarro world.
Acid, a musical phenomenon, only for the headstrong. Makes you wanna dance, move, groove, beat, puts you in a trance, keeps you on your feet. We call it acid. Acid.
What?
You turn on, you tune in, you drop out. Acid has that effect. Bassline be pumping, bodies rocking, people in the crowd, you hear them shout.
All right. Timothy Leary inspired lyrics. All right. What the hell is this?
You thought it was a drug. Now you know you're wrong. You hear it in future, zoom and spectrum. And we call it acid.
I thought it was drugs. You're the one quoting Timothy Leary. What am I? I'm just deducing what you throw at me.
Right on 180. Right on 180.
What is this? The art of noise?
You turn on, you tune in, you drop out. Acid has that effect. Bassline be pumping, bodies rocking, people in the crowd, you hear them shout.
All right. This is officially insanity. All right. Was that a commercial for Pepsid?
Or what? Pepsid?
Yeah. Was that like Tums or something?
No.
I tell you, the 80s were a weird time, man. We call it Acieed. Gary Heisman.
Let me
Hazeman.
look this one up.
D-Mob. That was strange.
Someone one of our long time, I don't know if they're subscribed or just a long time viewer suggested that one. Sent me an email about that one.
Dancing Danny. Danny D.
There you go. Number 3 on the UK singles chart.
Really? Jeez. I mean, yeah, it's just bizarre. That's not really that's not really a song.
Look at this. D-Mob charted 5 songs on the U.S. Hot Dance Music Club Play chart, 4 of which went to number 1, including We Call It Acieed. Had you ever heard that song before?
Absolutely not. No. It is time to get funky. It is time to get funky.
Well, years active.
Usually it would just be, it's time to get funky. I'm just saying, the it is makes it seem very proper.
Well, we don't know the song, so perhaps it is proper. I don't know. But they are still active. Years active, 1988 to present.
Very strange. Very strange stuff.
You know what? Let me check email and see if, when they suggested it, if they had anything else they wanted to say. Hi guys, it's Cyrus from your comments section. I had an idea for songs that get overlooked from the late 80s in the UK, as they were part of the acid rave house scene at the time. The suggestion is we call it Acieed. Is it Acieed? What are they saying?
They're saying acid, but they're kind of saying Acieed.
I see. By D-Mob. Don't know how Dave will cope with the electronic drums, but there's lots of great songs from that era. Just a thought. How did you cope with the electronic drums?
Oh, I can cope with it. It's just kind of like, it's very interesting. Like, how do you get from like Cliff Burton and like then the Beatles and then like the Who? How do you get from that to this? And then how do you come from this and get Oasis?
Right.
Or Muse. Like, I don't know. Something happened in the 80s where this became popular.
Well, maybe it was the acid.
I don't know. Just, if I was on acid, I would definitely not be listening to this kind of music.
Oh, no.
No. This would bum me out.
All right.
Although, listening to it as is now, it's fine. It's more like a look into the history of music.
Yep.
I just, it's kind of like miraculous that this became a thing.
I mean, and it clearly was a huge hit here and there.
It's very interesting. Well, you know, people like to go out and have a few drinks and dance to that easy dance beat.
Dance about.
It's kind of Night at the Roxbury-ish.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that definitely had its place.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not like... It's kind of like not real music.
What is it?
It's just like some sort of... I don't know. I mean, it's music, but... I don't know. I just don't know.
It's too programmed for you?
Yeah, it's programmed and it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I mean, everything about that was absolutely ridiculous.
Including the video?
Yes, the whole thing is just ridiculous.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
I mean, compare this to, for example, the band The Specials.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how it compares.
I mean, okay.
I just, I don't know. Real music with real musicians and real singing is like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this, which is another thing. I'm not saying it's terrible, but it's definitely not, it's not on the same level. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Okay.
It's interesting to listen to and check out, but it's so far removed from, like, I don't know how to put it without sounding like a dick. I guess there's nothing I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's like songs that are overlooked from the 80s. I guess I just wasn't into that stuff.
Nope.
Like
But
people say the 80s was so great. I don't agree.
okay.
I don't agree at all.
Van Halen had some good music in the 80s.
Yeah, but their music from the 70s was like 10 times better.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, yeah, but 1984 was like their last good album in my opinion, and even that wasn't as good as their other albums.
I mean, it had a lot of hits, Dave.
Yeah, but Jump is cool, but it's not,
That's not even like
it's not Somebody Get Me a Doctor, or it's not Tora Tora. It's not When the
Panama.
Cradle Will Rock. It's not Unchained. And Unchained was from the 80s. That they did have some good stuff in the 80s, but that was still like 70s influenced.
Okay.
But
Hot for Teacher, Panama. You don't like them?
I like them, but it's getting a little commercial at that point.
Okay.
It's cool. It's cool, but it's not as good as their earlier stuff, in my opinion.
All right. Well, this wasn't really supposed to be about Van Halen, so I'm sorry about that.
No, I mean, the Who,
Okay. Let's just end this.
great band in the '60s and '70s. By the time the '80s come around, they're doing, You Better You Bet.
You don't
Better
like
You
that
Bet's
one?
cool. It's okay. Another Tricky Day. It's okay, but it's not fucking Going Mobile or Behind Blue Eyes or Quadrophenia. You know what I mean? It's not even Who Are You. Who Are You is the last great Who album.
That wasn't the 80s?
1977, 78. Coincidentally, the last album that Keith Moon was on.
Oh, all right.
I love The Who, but album-wise, that was it. That was the end of it. Anyway, yeah, the 80s just it's like, she got fucked up in the 80s. From my opinion.
Okay.
It's cool, but I don't know what happened.
Well,
Don't know what happened.
people enjoyed it for sure, so.
I mean, fuck, man. Compare what we just listened to Elvis Costello's first album. My Aim Is True. How does it even compare? Joe Jackson, first album. This does not compare. It just doesn't.
What happened in the 80s, you think? Just the recording process was different, or more synthy stuff was in, like the synthesizers became,
Well, it's my opinion that the music industry got corrupted by record executives who basically ruined the artistic integrity, combined with excessive amounts of cocaine.
mm-hmm.
And, electronic drum machines came around, for instance. And because it was so much easier for them and cheaper to just program a drum beat, your musical integrity was compromised. You no longer needed to hire a great drummer. You could just program the beat. And people didn't seem to care. I don't know. It's just, everything was compromised. Artistic integrity was compromised. And then
MTV came.
MTV was a big part of that.
It became less about the music and more about the video.
Absolutely. That's more of the record industry having their priorities terrible. And the real problem was, you have record executives who were afraid to take any chances, because if they took a chance and they signed something that wasn't the formula and it didn't make it, they lose their job. So then you have non-musicians controlling musicians. Frank Zappa's talked about it. I'm not saying anything new,
Right.
but it really came to a head in the 80s as a reaction to the 70s. It started in the 70s. Disco kind of started all that. And arena rock, like, REO Speedwagon and Journey and the Eagles. It all became a big money-making machine. In the 70s, there was still purity. Then you have a reaction to that with grunge, which was just like the reaction to that. And then in England, you have bands like Oasis, which is absolutely a reaction to the terribleness of the 1980s, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, thanks for suggesting it, Cyrus.
No, it's cool. I mean, if you're into it and you have fun listening to it, that's fine. That's cool. But when you grew up on the Kinks and the Who and, you know, John Coltrane, it's kind of hard to deal with this.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.